Hello.
Hello, ready for 23 questions?
Come on in, let's do it.
So how do you sum up your role as a productions manager at LexMedia in one sentence?
In one sentence, wow. So here at LexMedia, we provide a service to the community, and me as the production manager, I need to ensure that all the organization, all the productions, all the equipment is all in one good place and easily accessible and trainable for all.
Yeah.
In one sentence. That was a run-on sentence, but I think it's still
very
a sentence.
Mm-hmm. And what's the biggest challenge in managing both in-house and field productions?
Oh God. The most challenging?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just kind of coming up with a game plan. Each production is different, but the same in a way.
Yeah.
But we use the same equipment, but in different ways. So it's really about the pre-production, making sure everything is in one place, everything is ready to go, coming up with a game plan, trying to think of everything that can go wrong on the shoot and try to pre-plan for it when it does go wrong, and just be in a good place for when we get to the shoot, all the way through the production, through editing. So yeah, that's kind of it.
And how do you keep everything on schedule with so many moving parts involved?
That's a really good question. Communication, ginormous part of this job, this industry. Being able to voice your concerns, being able to voice your planning with your coworkers or the organizers, anybody who's working on this project, in a clear and concise way is probably the most important part of of any production. So good communication skills, being able to voice your concerns, and anything else that's kind of coming along with the situation.
Let's take a look at around the office space.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's our lobby right here. You can see all three of our channels are running at the same time. Public, education, and government right up there. Went through some of our awards over there, no big deal. Over here is our main studio, Studio A. Nothing's on right now, in here at least, but if we go in here, some fun little lights. Oh yeah.
Wait, this is awesome.
Not bad, not bad. So yeah, we have a big old space in here, full green screen. We got a couple curtains that go around, full lighting grid. We got our cameras over here, TVs and all that stuff. So yeah, we have some fun in here.
And what's your go-to strategy for coordinating a team of community producers?
Let's see. That's a good question. So getting them in the door is the hard part. Once they get in here and they see what we have, everyone kind of just like you, they kind of get excited. They see the equipment, they see the space.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The hard part is having them come back, because we'll train people, we'll have some fun, and then getting them to come back as volunteers and setting them up for different shoots around town, whether it's a lecture or a football game or a soccer game or whatever it is. The hardest part is just keeping people around, to be honest. So yeah, I'd say that's our most challenging.
How do you balance creative vision with practical logistics?
Say that one more time.
How do you balance creative vision with the practical logistics involved?
Again, it comes down to communication, because when it comes down to having a vision and it is your vision, the most challenging thing is voicing it in a clear and concise way to everybody else, and having them understand what your vision is. Because you could be in the middle of a shoot and people will be scratching their heads and being like, what are we doing here? But if you can kind of tell them exactly what's happening in a nice, clear, and concise way, that's the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah. What's one piece of filming equipment you can't live without?
Oh God. I'm a huge fan of my lavalier microphones. Lavalier microphone, it's a wireless microphone. Those are the ones that clip onto your shirt,
really good.
go into your back pocket. It allows people to walk around freely, and it keeps a microphone on them at all times. The hardest part is getting clean audio when we go to different shoots around town.
For sure.
This ensures that if I bring my lavalier microphone, it's just very easy to go up to the speaker or whoever, throw the microphone on them. Even doing on-the-street interviews, I've used the lavalier just for people holding it just like this. That and gaff tape. When I go on to shoots, I like a nice, clean workspace, nice and organized. Gaff tape everything down, make sure everything's safe. Those are the two, I know you said one, but the two biggest things for me.
How do you manage and keep track of a large equipment inventory?
Oh, the inventory is huge. So when equipment is constantly going out, going in and out of this place, we have a sign out sheet that keeps track of who took it out for what project on what date and what date it's supposed to be coming back. So it is a little challenging to make sure everything gets back that people take out, but we're very vigorous. We grill people if something's missing. We're not afraid to tell them, hey, we're missing 2 AA batteries. What are we going to do about it? So yeah, but even the bigger equipment, the cameras, the tripods, not only do we make sure it comes back, but we make sure it comes back safely. So, we check the legs of the tripods. We make sure the camera's not damaged. So yeah, just kind of keeping track of everything that goes in and out. It is challenging, but there is definitely a system in place to make that happen.
Right. What's the most complex production you've managed so far?
Oh, well, that's got to be Patriots Day 2025 for the Lex 250. This was 3 or 4 months ago. When we heard NBC was coming into town to do their own production as well, we took that as a challenge for ourselves. And we really wanted to up our game this year when it came to the parade. Not only the parade, but all the Lex 250 things. But the parade was like our bread and butter. But this year we got a nice staging. We were 5 feet off the ground. We had our host. We had lower thirds. We had music. We had roll-ins. We had a man on the street. We had 6 cameras rolling at the time, so it was a lot of things. I remember the first 20 minutes of it were a little overwhelming, but then once we got our footing, we got rolling, everything went really well. So we were happy with everything that went down that day, but it had to be the Lex 250 Patriots Day Parade.
Yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the office space.
Absolutely, follow me. Yeah, so this is where the master control is. So when there are productions happening in there, this is where the director, the audio, the lighting, everything is all happening right in here. So I'm sorry I didn't turn it all on for you to get a better look, but it's okay. Over here is our equipment room. Stop in here for a little bit. This is where
a lot of equipment.
Yeah, all of our cables are right up on this wall. Cameras, tripods. Here, come back here. We have our all of our microphone stands. All of our audio equipment is on this rack here. All of our lighting equipment and sound equipment is on this side over here, so it's a lot going on. And
is that a microphone?
That is.
Whoa!
This is called actually a blimp. So you take one of these shotgun microphones right here, and you put it inside of this blimp. So this has a shock mount, so you can move it, you can shake it, and those little shakes and vibrations aren't going to get picked up on the actual microphone.
That's so cool.
This is called a blimp, so it's an encasement for a shotgun microphone that kind of gets you very clean noise. If you're getting ambient noise outside or something, just take this thing by the handle, and you can very easily just walk around, just getting noises of crickets, anything else that's kind of going on.
And how do you handle unexpected problems during a production shoot?
Oh, well, the thing is, every production shoot's probably going to have problems. There's not many cases where we go out and there's not problems. Like I was just saying about the Lex 250, there were a bunch of problems going into the 2:00 start time. But you just have to prepare as much as you can. Like for that 250th Patriots Day, we had pre-production meetings going back 3 to 5 months leading up to that day. And during those meetings, it's just talking about problems that we may have.
Right.
Weather, always an issue. Talent showing up on time. A whole bunch of just different stuff going on. So it's always just challenging. What's up, Jake? That's Jake Klinzing,
hey
one of our community producers.
Hello.
I'm being interviewed right now, so feel free to drop your stuff off. But another one of the problems are people just showing up during interviews and interrupting everything. And then even most recently, we had a shoot. What was it? Graduation up at Tsongas Arena. We had an issue where our feed was not going to the Jumbotron, and that took about 30 to 35 minutes to fix in real time. And then all of a sudden, once that was fixed, we were like 20 minutes away from the actual start of the graduation. So a lot of moving parts. The only way you can kind of fix these problems are A, to prepare for it, and then B, be ready to just kind of have a good, positive outlook. Just try not to get too stressed out. Hopefully things can get fixed in a short amount of time.
And what's your favorite part of the overall production process?
Oh God. The overall production process. I really like directing multicam shoots. So like for the parade or for a football game, there's a director, there's camera people, there's your broadcasters. Those have to be some of my favorite shoots that I do here in Lexington. They're chaotic. There's a lot of setup. You know, if there's a football game that starts at 6 o'clock, we try to get to the field around 2 o'clock to start setting up. So 4 hours of setup time. And you know, you may be set up in an hour and a half, but you have to test all the equipment. You have to make sure everything's working properly. And that chaos, it kind of gives you a feeling that when you actually complete the project or complete the game or complete the whatever it is that you're filming, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. And it's all team camaraderie. You got everyone's working together to put out the best production possible. And when it's done, there's like a sense of accomplishment there.
Right. Now, how do you ensure quality and consistency across all local media productions? And as you answer this, let's take a look at the rest and the podcast studio.
If you don't mind, repeat that again.
So, how do you stay organized when juggling between multiple productions at once?
That's a good question. So there are multiple productions happening here all the time. We have a channel just dedicated to our government channel. So 5 nights a week, we have our government coordinator, Devin Shaw, kind of handling all of those. While all of those are happening, we may have 3 podcasts during the week that somebody needs to sit in on and monitor and make sure that they're all set. Later on that night, we have a lecture, and then the next day we have a protest happening downtown. Downtown Lexington that somebody needs to go cover. So it's all just about. I've been here for a long time, so I've seen quite a few things, but it's all just kind of looking at the week ahead. So come Monday, look at your calendar. Make sure that everything is covered on the calendar. And then we have quite an array of camera equipment. So we never really run out of equipment per se, but you know, the right camera needs to go to the right shoot. Like if we're doing the protest, we send the Blackmagic because that has some of the better, it's lightweight, it's easy to wrap around your neck and very easy to bounce around. So making sure that the right cameras go to the right shoots is a big thing for me. And again, with our sign out sheets, it's very easy to kind of just make sure that everything's organized and ready to go to the right places.
How do you ensure quality and consistency across all local media productions?
Sorry, say that one more time.
How do you ensure quality and consistency across all local media productions?
Well, we have we have a lot of graphics and our logos. They're all very, they're done the way they are for a specific reason, because we want to have continuity between a lot of our shoots. We want to have the same graphics. We want to have the same outro at the end. Our little LexMedia logo thing there at the end. So it's important for us to have a brand. So when people see something of ours, they say, "Oh, this is a LexMedia production," even before they see the word LexMedia. Yeah. So it's always important to us to have that type of consistency from project to project. For sure. And just kind of make sure our brand is out there and let people know that when they see a camera at a shoot out in Lexington, they know it's LexMedia. Yeah. I'm sorry. While we're here, this is our kitchen studio right over here. If you just want to get a quick shot, we do a lot of cooking shows here.
Whoa! Are these the cameras overhead on the top?
Yeah. So that's a PTZ camera. That stands for pan, tilt, and zoom. I'm able to control that with a joystick in the master control back there, but it's also on a robotic dolly system, so it can actually go left on that track and right on that track, so we can get, if they're cooking over on top of the stovetop, we can get that perfect bird's eye view, and then if they come over here to start cutting some veggies or something, we can come right back over and get that nice overhead shot of that whole thing. We do cooking classes here, so if you ever wanted to sign up for one, and be a participant, feel free to go check out our Instagram. We post about them. We have about one a month we do. Yeah. So amongst more. So keep an eye out for that.
What's one editing trick or technique you think every producer should know?
I'm a big fan of J cuts and L cuts. So that's when you take the audio from a clip and kind of underlay it underneath the clip prior to it. So it's kind of like you're preparing the audience for where, like, you're going somewhere next. So if you're ever watching a movie, you're in a quiet apartment, and then all of a sudden you start hearing like loud traffic noises. That's a J cut, because it's kind of preparing the audience for all of a sudden you start hearing horns out of nowhere, and you're like, what the heck's going on? And then like 3 seconds later, you're all of a sudden in the middle of a street. So those are like these little tricks that you can kind of do to prepare the audience for where you're going to go next. And I love a good J cut. I love a good L cut. They're simple, but if you use them, they can be very effective.
Now, what's your approach to mentoring or supporting community producers?
I love the school system around here. All the kids always are so interested if they're into film or into recording or anything like that. I always kind of see that sparkle in their eye when they come in, and I'm always like, oh, this is fantastic. So once they learn the cameras and they start taking out the cameras and they start shooting their short films, or they volunteer and they go help us out with a shoot of some sort, it always means a lot to me to see them kind of get excited to come get equipment and ask questions and look for advice about certain things. As well as when we do sports broadcasting, we had a few students that were with us from freshman year all the way through senior year calling the basketball and the football games, and they graduated last year, but one of them went to Syracuse to become a sports broadcaster for the future. So when he decided to do that, I was so happy for him. The fact that he kind of I wouldn't say was under my wing, but like I was able to kind of guide him through those 4 years, talk about what he can do better, like progressively. Like I'm not like day one, you have to do this, you have to do that. But like from year 1 to year 2 to year 3 to year 4, he was getting better and better. And he would start doing his own things too. He'd do his side interviews with the coach prior to the game, and he'd come up and be like, hey, I got an interview with the coach. Do you mind if I could like roll it in or whatever? I'm like, absolutely, let's do it. So little things like that, it's always really important to me to see stuff like that happen. And good luck to Austin Raish up in Syracuse. Hopefully you can make it.
How do you keep up with new trends in technology and media production?
Jeez, that is a whole other thing. When I started here, I think we were at HD 1920 by 1080. Now we're up to 8K cameras, or I think there's 12K cameras out there. But here we're up to 6K here, so we're splitting the difference. But it's constantly changing. I mean, even with the introduction of AI in the last couple years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's just like a whole other.
That's a whole other universe.
It's a whole other universe. Not only like with. With text, but with images. Like I can go and generate a background image for a project I'm working on. Instead of working on it for an hour, I can very simply just kind of put a couple prompts in, and all of a sudden I have a title card made. So keeping up with that, as well as the type of technology like the cameras, the microphones, the audio mixers, the grip gear, the lighting. It's a lot to keep up with. But it's oddly enough, it's getting cheaper. So it is. Will it last for a couple years? Probably not. But it's an ever changing field that you have to keep up with it. And
Should we take a look at the podcast studio?
Yeah, this is your room, Fariza.
I love this place.
This is our Fred Rothmel dedicated podcast room. Fred Rothmel used to work here a long time ago, and he's very big influence on a lot of the workers here. This is our podcast room. We only have 2 microphones set up right now. We have 2 that can be hooked in at any time. Sorry, whatever. We also can bring in Zoom calls, so if there's ever an interview or anything like that, you could very easily just, punch in that Zoom call and just do an interview over the internet, which is fantastic.
What's a memorable project that really pushed your skills?
Okay, so I'll talk about the kids filmmaking class real quick. So every year in August, we put on a kids filmmaking class. For kids, I think the cutoff age is 14. Every year we pick a different project to film. The last 2 years we did Goosebumps books. So we would read the book. I mean, it's a very easy read. Get through it in an hour or two. And then we would take that book and then adapt it into a short film. And the last 2 years we did Goosebumps, and it's so challenging because obviously we have to write the script in a clear and concise way. We have to write it for kids, so it's kind of like, not, I wouldn't say dumbed down, but like simplified.
Right.
And when the class actually starts, you have to kind of, like I was mentioning earlier, you have to kind of explain your vision to a bunch of kid filmmakers who are trying to learn. And by the end, so it starts off on Monday where we cast the project. The next 2 or 3 days we're filming it and editing it, and then come Friday we have a 20 to 25 minute short film done, edited, remixed, sound, audio, everything, titles, everything has been put into this thing. And then come Friday, we screen it for the kids and their parents. So every year it's very challenging to have to put that type of project on, but it's fun, it's exciting.
It's such a good opportunity, I feel like, for them to explore this filmmaking industry as well.
Totally. It definitely gives them a behind the scenes look of how to actually make a movie, because I don't know, if you're watching a movie, you're like, oh, that must have been easy to do. They just point the camera and the way that
But there
works.
really is a whole process involved, like once I found out,
Oh my God. I mean, just to get like a little bit of a subtle blue light on the side of somebody's face. It's not you don't just point it and shoot. It's like scrimming it and diffusing it and bouncing it off a bounce card just to get a little cue on the side of the face for symbolic reason of whatever. So getting it really allows kids to see the difficulty that goes into making a short film while also having fun. And so the kids summer class is so much fun. I love it.
And what role does teamwork play in your day-to-day management?
Teamwork is huge here. I mean, granted, we are pretty short-staffed here. We have 5 full-time employees here. But when we get these type of shoots, whether it's a sports shoot or the kids' filmmaking class, or next week we're doing something with the Phoenix Project. It's a camp for musicians to go, adult musicians to go and play with an actual band. In this case, it's the Lexington Symphony. So we're going to be filming that. I think 3 of the staff are going to go there from Monday through Thursday for like 6 or 7 hours each day to film B-roll, to film interviews. And then by the time this is all done, we're going to have maybe a 30-minute show kind of showing the whole process of the Phoenix Project from concept to reality. And so I mean, working with staff here is incredible, but again, it takes a lot of pre-production to pull this type of stuff off. And
And how do you prioritize tasks when everything feels urgent or overwhelming?
God, there are moments here where you do get overwhelmed. There'll be 5 things on the calendar for 1 week. Each day it's dedicated to a different project, but it's really just about keeping your cool, maintaining. It's not the end of the world. If anything goes wrong, you just have to do the best you can, send the right people to the right shoots, and get it to the best of your abilities. So it could be overwhelming, but really, I've been here long enough that we've been through some rough weeks, rough months, where it seems every day there's something new. And the best way to kind of take it is head on. And again, pre-production. That's all. The most pre-production, the more pre-production you can do before any shoot is good.
How do you balance creative freedom with deadlines and budgets?
We have a decent budget here, so like anytime we need a new piece of equipment that's urgent, it's okay to put it in. We're not going to go crazy by any means, and the way the industry is now, a lot of things are really expensive. But we have some pretty great technology here. We have some, we have a gimbal. So if we wanted to get a nice swooping shot of hallways or just get creative on a gimbal, we can do that. We have a dolly system. So when it comes to budgets, I always kind of go back to old school filmmaking. Sam Raimi, he made the movie The Evil Dead in the early 80s with shoestring budget, and it all comes down to problem solving. Anytime you have a problem, how can we fix this quickly? And how can we fix this cheaply? And that's the movie making business. That's the business here as well at LexMedia as well. It's really just about problem solving on your feet, coming up with a solution. Because at the end of the day, you don't need a golden prop. You need a prop that you can spray paint gold. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I love how you framed that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, exactly. So when you're doing stuff for movies, it's really just about problem solving and being able to trick the audience, even if it's just for a quick second, you just need to trick the audience. And yeah.
And what's one moment that made you feel very proud of your team?
I mean, again, Lex 250 Patriots Day Parade. That was a lot of pre-production going into it. And it's not just the parade, it's days and days of events leading up to the parade. So it's, the midnight ride of Paul Revere that turns into the Battle of Lexington, which turns into the ceremonies on the green, which turns into the USS Lexington. And these are all just a bunch of different projects that happen leading up to it. So it's hard to just be like, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. And while that's all happening, you're getting ready for the parade. This was just a huge team effort type of situation. And by the time we actually got to the end of the parade, 5 o'clock on Sunday, we're all exhausted. I was at the field at 3 a.m. So that was like an 18-hour day for me. So it was a really big sense of accomplishment by the time I got home that night. I took a shower, I laid down, I said, oh my God, it's over.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure my team felt the same way.
So how do you unwind or recharge after a hectic production schedule like you were just explaining right now?
I just zone out for a few days. I just kind of go into my own world. I lay down. I decompress. I'm a big decompress guy. And I kind of just, I take a second to just take a breath and, there's going to be more productions down the road. Like even once this was done, I think we had a cooking show the next week, and then graduations and prom are right around the corner as well. So even though we take a minute to breathe, we said, good job, fantastic work, everybody. But then, you just got to realize that there's more shoots right around the corner. So you kind of always just have to be ready.
And what advice would you give to someone looking to get into production management?
It's a good question. Production management it's a tough gig. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. There's the equipment, there's the organization, there's the training, there's the staff, there's the facilities. So there's a lot of moving parts. And I guess I would say, do what you love. If you really do love videography, if you love filmmaking, if you love editing, if you love shooting, this is a great place to be because you actually do all of it. In the actual industry, if you're a camera guy, you only deal with cameras. If you're a lighting guy, you only deal with lighting. If you're an editing guy, you only do editing. But here, you kind of get a big mix of everything. You're dipping your toe in literally every field. You're kind of mastering it from the ground up. You're trying to teach people what you know in layman's terms, because if they're straight up beginners, it could be challenging. So it's really just about trying to get a little bit of everything as the production manager. And here, I'll show you a little bit more around our facilities if that's cool. Right over this way. Come on, follow me, Fariza. This is Jake's office right over there. This is our broadcast server room. It might be a little loud to do anything in here, but this is where all of our channels go out. RCN, Verizon, Comcast, all three.
Whoa.
Yeah, not too bad. And I'll show you our dear old editing room in the back. What's up, Allison? This is Allison. This is Fariza. She's doing an interview with me right now. I'm just going to take it. I know, how fun. And this is our edit room right back here. We have 4 computers dedicated for volunteers. This is pretty much my workstation over here. This is where I do most of my editing. So, yeah.
And now we've made it to question 23.
Wow.
Yeah. If you could describe your production style or philosophy in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, God. Okay. 3 words. So it needs to be tight. Tightness is good because it makes sure that all of your team members are on their toes. So you kind of want to be able to explain everything and how big certain events are, and some, in some events and some productions are more important than others, but having a nice tight schedule, tightness with the equipment, tightness with everything, it just makes sure that everyone's on the same page. I also like to use free flowing. So that's kind of the opposite of tightness. So with a free flowing kind of way of approaching different projects, you're kind of just going from project to project, and you are kind of just filming in your own kind of way. As long as when you do it for long enough, you can kind of just do it in a free flow state where you can kind of just bounce around and film things your own kind of way. So that's always, I think that's also very important, just up there with tightness. And then fun. At the end of the day, we're working with really fun equipment. And you get to get very creative with it, whether you're shooting, whether you're editing. There's just a lot of moving parts. And at the end of the day, you need to remember, we got into this business because we wanted to. It's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's creative. And that's kind of it.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering 23 questions. That was really insightful.
You're the best, Frieza.
Thank you.